Hello business stars, this is your business coach with a brand new question paper solving series on business studies, code 7115, variant 22, which is paper 2, May-June 2020. So let's get started. So business stars, before starting the question answer series, I would like you to introduce the whole case study, which is electronic scooters, okay? Obviously, I'm not going to read the whole case study for you, but I'll just give you a glimpse of how a case study is inside paper 2. Okay, remember in paper 1, there were 4 small case studies, right? But in paper 2, there is a single case study, but it's going to be very big. So this is the first slide of the case study. Remember, I'm not going to read every single line for you because it's going to take a lot of time. But you need to read this and you need to find out the important applications that you will be using in your answers. So this is the first slide of the case study. Moving on to the second slide, which is this one. Here there are certain informations that are given, certain calculations they are given. You need to use them. Moving on to the third slide, which is this one. Here we have appendix 2 and appendix 3. Okay, so let's start the question paper now. So business stars, before starting the question paper, I need to discuss with you regarding the mark allocation of this paper 2. So in paper 2, it consists of 80 mark and the duration is 1 hour 30 minutes. So there are basically 4 questions in paper 2. There's question number 1AB, 2AB, 3AB and 4AB. So all the A's, 1A, 2A, 3A and 4A consist of 8 marks and all the B's, 1B, 2B, 3B and 4B consist of 12 marks, okay? So 1A is 8 mark, 1B is 12 mark. 2A is 8 mark, 2B is 12 marks. Okay, this is how the whole process continues. So let's get started in the question. Starting with question number 1A, which is explain one benefit and one problem for ES, which is electronic scooters, of taking over other businesses. So let's talk about the first benefit and then the problem. Remember, it's an 8-mark question and the mark allocation would be the benefit and the explanation is going to be 4 marks. The problem and the explanation is going to be the other 4 marks. So total of 8 marks. And over here, we need to write the benefit is going to be of knowledge, which is 1 mark. And explanation, we need 3 marks. So benefit 1 mark and explanation 3 marks. We'll be writing 1 knowledge, 2 analysis and 1 application. Okay? 1 knowledge, 2 analysis and 1 application. So the first benefit is it makes it quicker to grow. Okay, if they basically take over other businesses, it will make them quicker to grow. This is the knowledge. Let's talk about the explanation. The explanation says, as the existing production facilities can be used to increase the output of scooters, this is faster than setting up own factories. So there are 2 analyses over here. Let's talk about the application. They can use existing scooter factories and skilled employees. This is part of the application. Now let's talk about the problem. The problem is the cost of buying other companies is high. This is the knowledge. Let's talk about the analysis and application. So in the explanation part, ES will have to raise large amount of funds to allow them to do this. This is the first analysis. As a public limited company, because ES is a public limited company, okay? And obviously you have to read the whole case study from the question paper. You can do it online or physically by buying a question paper book, or you can just download the question paper from website. Okay, so you'll have to read the question paper, and over here it was written that as a public limited company, this is the application, it could sell additional shares to raise the finance, but this may lead to the existing shareholders losing some control over the business. So there are 2 analysis and 1 application. This is how you write a 8-mark question for question number 1A. Business starts. Moving on to question number 1B, which is consider the financial information in appendix 1. Here we have appendix 1. Which company should ES take over? Justify your answer. It's a 12-mark question. Okay, so in 12-mark question, here you'll have to write about ABC company number 1. On the second part, you have to talk about FGH company, and finally you have to come up with a recommendation. So I have collected the appendix 1 and I've copied and pasted over here. So as you can see, the informations are given, which talks about revenue, cost of sales, expenses, return on capital employed, current ratio, and asset test ratio. Okay, so you have to compare and you have to take this information and then you'll have to write it over here. You cannot just copy paste the information. You have to also come up with certain formulas and then you'll be writing it over here. Okay, so let's talk about ABC company number 1. And first, the revenue is 300 million lower than FGH, which is 400 million for FGH company, minus 100 for ABC company. So if you deduct 400 minus 100, see 400 minus 100, then the revenue is 300 lower for ABC company. Okay, the gross profit is 50 million. If you do the math from here, if you deduct cost of sales from revenue, you will receive a 50 million, and the GPM, which is the gross profit margin, is 50%. Also, you have to talk about the liquidity, okay? So the liquidity is good and shows that ABC can easily pay any short-term liabilities. So let's talk about the FGH company. Okay, the FGH company, again we'll have to write the same thing. The gross profit was 250 million because we have calculated the gross profit. It's not given over here. Okay, you'll have to, certain things you'll have to add and deduct, and then with the formula you'll come up with this result, which is 240 million. The information is given. See, revenue 400 million minus cost of sales 160. 400 minus 160. After this, you will be receiving the gross profit, which is 250 million. Also, you'll be talking about the GPM, which is the gross profit margin of 60%, profit 30 million. If you deduct all this, you'll be receiving 30 million, and the liquidity is too high and is not making good use of its current assets. Okay, there may be too much cash being held in the business. So if you see, the current ratio over here is 3 and the current ratio over here is 2. The asset test ratio over here is 1 and over here it is 1.5. So let's talk about the recommendation. So ABC's profitability is higher than FGH, even though GPM, their gross profit margin, is lower. So overall profitability is higher. Liquidity is also better for ABC as FGH has too high an amount of current assets to current liabilities with a current ratio of 3. We can see the current ratio is 3 for FGH. So overall, basically, the company ES should be investing in ABC company. For business, commerce, and economics tuitions, you can connect with Muhammad Ishtiaq bin Zaman sir at 01685 221141 or email us at thebusinesssstarbd@gmail.com.